Have you ever wondered why they don't teach credit in school? They teach us to get a job, they teach us to get a career, but what they don't tell us is that to get a lot of these jobs, they have to do a credit check. They also teach us the great American dream is to own a home. But they don't teach us that we got to have a high credit score to own that home. Education is something that the schools pump into us at a young age. Get an education. But when were they going to start telling us how the student loans impact our credit profiles? My name is Antoine Sallis, AKA the Credit Genius. I own multiple companies. Two of my biggest companies is one, credit repair, and the second, credit logistics, in which I help people fulfill their lifelong dreams using credit as a medium to do so. You know, I remember long ago, I had just got a job at T-Mobile, and I was proud of that job. You know, I had the shirt on, I would wear the shirt every day. And one particular day, I was taking the bus home from work. I got off the bus and I was walking home and I passed a mom and pop car dealership. Now on the sign, I noticed it said, good credit okay, bad credit okay, bankruptcy okay, your job is your credit. That resonated with me because I had a job and I didn't have a car. So a few days went by and I started thinking about it. It started going in my head. I said, you know, I could get me a little car. I could get a little something, you know, for now. And so what I did is I made a plan. I said, Friday is payday. I'm going to take my paycheck stubs and I'm going to take my money and I'm going to go to that mom and pop dealership. And that's exactly what I did. The whole week, I kept thinking about driving and thinking about a car. Friday came, I went down to the car dealership. I was wearing my uniform just for good effect. And I started looking around. I saw this white car that I really liked. It wasn't too expensive. It looked nice. And I started really believing that I could get that car. As I was thinking about the car, a salesman walked up to me. Excuse me, sir, how can I help you? I said, yeah, I want this car right here. And I was confident about it. And he started asking me the questions. Well, sir, what are your credentials? You have a job? I said, yeah, I do. I have a job. You see, I got my T-Mobile shirt on. He said, okay. Now, how's your credit? But the sign says, my job is my credit, right? He says, okay. You got a down payment? Sure, I have a down payment. So he walks me inside, and then I fill out the credit application. Now, nowadays, it's computer generated, but back then it wasn't. You got the big, long paperwork. It takes like 30 minutes to fill out. So I sat down, and I filled out the paperwork. Finally turned it in to the gentleman. He said, okay, let me go in. I'm going to run these numbers, and I'll come back, and I'll tell you what your options are. I said, okay. While he was inside running the numbers, I was driving a car in my mind. I was on the freeway. There was a girl I really liked. I had taken her to the movies. I was telling all my friends and family, yeah, I got a little car. That car was mine. But the guy came out, and the guy had a little weird look on his face. His hand was covering his mouth as if he was trying to suppress a smile or a laughter. So I looked at him. I was like, what's going on, bro? He says, sorry, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get you into a car. And I was like, why? And he was still holding his laughter, and then it just came out. You have a 378. So I started laughing. I thought it was a joke. I didn't even know it was serious. I was like, 378? I was like, yeah. And he says, no, but seriously, you have a 378. And I said, it goes that low? So the guy says, yeah, man, when you get your credit up a little bit and your credit score gets a little bit better, come on back and we'll see about putting you in a car. And I was like, man. I said, whoa, hold on a second. Outside, your sign says that my job is my credit. It's like, yeah, but we're going to make an exception for you. So to say that my heart dropped is an understatement. Okay, I left that dealership with my tail between my legs. I'm not going to lie. Walked back down to the bus stop, hopped on the bus, and it was a long bus ride home, let me tell you. But the whole time I'm on the bus, I'm thinking, one number, one score has this much impact on my life, on my well-being. Maybe I should really look into this. Then I thought about my son that I just had, and I thought about my future, my only son. And he's my biggest motivation because I'm going to tell you guys what, I made a vow right there on the bus. I said, you know what, I don't know what the ins and outs of credit is, but I'm going to find out. That's what I am going to do. And so I studied every day, in and out. I got tunnel vision. I don't care what it was. Everything else came secondary to credit. I watched videos, I read books, I talked to people, I called mentors, I would bribe them with, hey, if I give you $30, would you tell me these difficult questions about credit? I did everything it took for me to learn about credit. But let's rewind a little bit. Why aren't they teaching this in schools? Something that has such a big impact on our lives, it affects everything. But they're not telling us this in school. I call it the Great American Credit Secret. Now, before I get to what I believe is the Great American Credit Secret, I'm going to give you guys 3 tips that will change your life. How many people in this room, by a show of hands, knows what piggybacking is when it comes to credit? Literally nobody. Piggybacking is a term that's used when your brother, sister, mother, auntie, cousin, dad, father, boyfriend, girlfriend adds you to their credit card. Once they add you to their credit card, all that credit card history goes on your credit report. If it's 5 years of history, you just got 5 years of history just by asking him to add you. They don't even have to give you a credit card. Simple trick. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say there's 2 kids in high school. Both of these kids are friends. Let's say Rhonda and John. Rhonda and John are friends. It's their senior year in high school. And Rhonda's mom and dad says, hey, I want you to get a secured card to start your credit. John's mom and dad says, hey, I want you to get a secured card to start your credit. However, I'm also going to put you on my credit card so you can piggyback off of my credit. So Rhonda and John, it's time to buy a car. They go down to the car dealership. They see the exact same car, and since they're best friends, they want to buy the same car. The car costs the same exact price. When Rhonda buys the car, they say, oh, okay. How much money do you have down? $300? That's fine. $220 a month payment. But John gets the exact same car, and his terms are a lot worse because his credit's a lot worse. With the authorized user trade line, you'll get additional credit just from adding yourself. That's the first tip. Second tip. Earlier I mentioned cars and buying a car and purchasing a car. Okay, there's certain things in credit, I want you guys to hear me, that they only look at the score, okay? Some of those things are a car, apartment, even a house. A lot of the times they will just look at the score. It doesn't matter what's inside of your credit. But other institutions when you're trying to get a loan, when you're trying to get credit cards, when you're trying to get other things, they look at what is inside of your credit profile. So the secret, and I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but maybe you haven't, and I want you guys to really get this, because this is huge. This is life-changing. The secret is to put as many trade lines on your credit report, which is as many different items. So a secured card, a credit card, automobile, you can get a student loan, you can go get a secured loan. That makes a strong credit profile, and just pay on it for a little bit of time. It's not that hard, because once you do, then you will have a strong credit profile. A strong credit profile is more powerful than a high credit score any day. I had a guy with an 800 credit score, he just got turned down for a loan the other day. The last credit tip I'm going to give you guys is there's a difference between having a high credit score and being able to leverage your credit. I'm going to give you an example. Not too long ago, I got approved for a $25,000 credit card. It was awesome. I've been wanting to go to the Philippines for a long time. I finally get over there and go to the Philippines and take a vacation. This is a beautiful, tropical place. I mean, it's amazing. White sand beaches, it's blue waters. The Philippines is awesome. But I stayed in the Airbnb. The Airbnb was $30. It was slightly luxury, like kind of middle upper class. So I asked someone there, I said, well, how much would it be if I wanted to buy this Airbnb room? They said, well, it's going to be 1 million pesos. Now, it sounds like a lot, but 1 million pesos is $20,000. I had that on a credit card that I just got. So what do you guys think I did? I took my credit card and I purchased that property. Now, it's a foreign country, so there's different guidelines and things that you have to know, but I took the appropriate steps. And to this day, I own that property in the Philippines. I remodeled it and I earned equity on it. While I'm sitting here talking to you guys, I'm still getting equity on it. And I paid back that credit card a long time ago. Even through the pandemic, when I could not rent out my unit over there, I still am building equity off of it because it's just increasing in value. That's another way of leveraging your credit. From a philosophical standpoint, the great American credit secret is a culmination of different ideas, okay? But let's think about it. The less we know, the more we have to pay these companies. That's why they say stay woke. So the more you know about credit, the better lifestyle that you will use, that you will live. The great American credit secret, you guys, is knowing the ability of how credit is going to impact your life. The great American credit secret is that if we chase credit, like we chase that job, like we chase that career, if we chase credit like we chase education, it has to be right there with it. Our lives will completely change. Change your credit, change your life. Thank you.